The mask of peace was breaking. For 2 centuries, humanity had played the part of diplomats, artists, and philosophers, pretending the wars of their ancestors were buried forever. The galaxy believed it, seeing humans as harmless, soft, and too sentimental to ever be a threat. That illusion ended the day Haven's Rest went silent. It was a small colony, a peaceful world of families, educators, and farmers, until the Kaverick fleet, massive reptilian warships, struck without warning or reason. 3 days later, 2.3 million people were dead, and the survivors' recordings showed cities burning, shelters collapsing, and children running from fire that filled the sky. When humanity demanded justice, the Galactic Council offered only empty sympathy, sanctions, and regret. Admiral Sarah Chen listened as the Council president asked her to maintain peace, and the Kaverick ambassador smirked, claiming humanity had brought the attack upon themselves. Chen smiled coldly and said Earth would respond accordingly before cutting the transmission. Hours later, she entered the war room beneath Earth's mountains, unopened for 200 years, as ancient systems flickered to life. Fleet rosters, supply chains, and sealed weapons programs. Her commanders watched silently as she declared, "The Council has decided. So will we?" Black site orders were issued, old protocols reactivated, and dormant machines awakened. Hidden shipyards disguised as freighter depots began constructing deadlier weapons. Humanity's mask of peace crumbled, revealing a familiar face beneath. A message labeled educational material from Earth reached the Council, billions of exabytes showing 10,000 years of human war, slaughter, strategy, and survival. They saw ancient armies, world wars, nuclear fire, and a billion dead at humanity's hands. Chen's final note read, "You mistook restraint for weakness. That mistake is yours alone." The Kavericks dismissed it, believing their fleets, 3 times larger, would dominate. But 3 days later, their military networks received Chen's broadcast. "You wanted to see us break. Now you will learn what we were before we chose peace." A 72-hour countdown began. When it hit 0, no human fleets appeared. Instead, invisible projectiles traveling near light speed obliterated half the Kaverick border defenses in 6 minutes, without harming civilians. Chen appeared on their channels. "This is day 1. We will continue until comprehension reaches you." The Kaverick sent 300 warships, but humans never engaged directly, instead sabotaging fuel lines, intercepting communications, and vanishing. The Kaverick Navy, built for domination, crumbled against an enemy fighting like ghosts. Then humanity struck with truth. Every Kaverick screen showed the Haven's Rest massacre. Public outrage erupted, soldiers refused orders, and the Council begged Chen to stop. She replied, "You had your chance. Now you will see what follows when humans stop asking for permission." When human ships filled the Kaverick homeworld sky, no bombardment came. Instead, thousands of glowing descent capsules, powered armor insertion pods, fell like meteors. Humanity fought in chaos, smoke, and gravity failure with surgical precision, sparing civilians while dismantling military forces trained only for sterile, distant warfare. Within 18 hours, the capital fell. Chen told the broken leadership, "Surrender unconditionally or vanish from history," and they surrendered. 3 weeks later, the Justice Station orbited their world, hosting the first public war crimes trials in galactic history. The Haven's Rest commander asked why he wasn't executed, and Judge Martinez replied, "Because death ends responsibility. You will live and remember." Hundreds of Kaverick officers faced justice, not vengeance, but law. The convicted were imprisoned in orbit above the ruined colony, forced to face the consequences they caused. Months passed as Kaverick worlds rebuilt under human supervision. Armies disbanded, schools reopened, and younger generations, calling themselves the Peace Scales, vowed never to repeat their ancestors' crimes. At the Haven's Rest Memorial, 3 million beams of light rose for each life lost. A young Kaverick named Kresh apologized to a human survivor, who whispered, "Then make sure they're never forgotten." Admiral Chen watched from orbit as humanity reshaped the galaxy through accountability, not conquest. Earth was reinstated to the Council, and her anti-extermination accord, guaranteeing force against any future genocide, passed unanimously. Human fleets became guardians, teaching the galaxy how to fight without cruelty and defend without dominance. Watching Kaverick children learning beside human teachers, Chen finally breathed peace. "You wanted to see what we are," she once said at the memorial. Now you know. Humanity had not forgotten war. They had remembered it, so the galaxy would never face it again.